it up, fuzzball.
From Down Under.
Do or do not. There is no try.
G'day, mate. How you going?
With Adam Harris.
This is Adam Harris of My Saga.
Hey folks, Adam here from the Fantha From Down Under on Fantha Tracks, and we are going to be chatting today to Adam Harris of My Saga to talk about the film which launches next Wednesday at North Lake Cinemas in Brisbane. That's right, this documentary's been a long time coming, but I can't wait to chat to him about it and of course let you listeners know how you can get involved in seeing the film and the fact that you might be able to see it in your local neck of the woods.
All right, Fantha Trackers, it's the Fantha From Down Under, live from the Gold Coast in Australia, the one, the only, Adam O'Brien, here in the Quinlan's Cantina. That's right, we're here to chat to a dear friend of the cast today and somebody that I think you are going to get a lot out of next week, and the hard work has been putting into a documentary by the name of My Saga. That is the director and host of the podcast, My Saga. Adam Harris, mate, how are you?
G'day, Adam. I'm great. Thank you for having me on Fantha Tracks today.
Yeah, absolutely welcome, mate. Now, I've got to say, this has been a long time coming, and because I've known Adam now for a couple of years, and I know what he's been ups and downs with this project, but it's all happening now.
Oh, look, it's been a journey and a half. It's been three and a bit years from when we started the Kickstarter campaign, but it's so exciting now that next Wednesday on June 13th, we're going to have the world premiere here in Brisbane.
That's right. So let's go back to the formation of this. For those that perhaps don't know about My Saga, if you don't, you've been living under a rock, because I can tell you this is one amazing documentary and one that has got a lot of Star Wars in there. Lots. Of course, it's about Adam and his son and their journey through Star Wars, but how did it all come to be? How did it all start?
Oh, look, it was a long time ago, I should say, in a back room far away, where I was sort of starting to get into film due to you could say a medical emergency that happened to me when my daughter was born back in 2010. I had suffered a bleed in my brain. I didn't know that had happened, and then on top of that, I had a scan that week and found out that I had a tumour-like growth. And I thought right there and then, life's too short, and I wanted to be a filmmaker because of seeing Return of the Jedi at the Hoyts Regent in Brisbane with my father, and skipping down the track many years later, and I was tossing around ideas for projects, and when Lucasfilm announced that they were sold to Disney and they were going to do more films, I thought, well, wouldn't it be great to document a father and son's journey with Star Wars? And that's sort of the beginnings of My Saga, and that's how it sort of came to be.
And I remember when I first met Adam, I was doing my original podcast, Jodcast Radio Network, and we talked about the love that he had for Star Wars and how it helped him in that time of need. And it gets you through dark chapters in your life, but also it's something you can share with others. And I think that's what the big core of this amazing film is.
Well, look, with what's currently going on in the Star Wars community, it's sort of nice to be able to have this film come out at this time. I think it's what we need as Star Wars fans, is something positive, and that's what this film is. It is about the positive aspects of fandom, especially Star Wars fandom, and what it means to people and how it brings people together, and that true meaning of what Star Wars is. And I think in the last few days, as Star Wars fans, we've lost a little bit of that in fandom with so much negativity. So it's a nice change of pace, but that's what the film's about. The film is about fandom. It's about positivity and community and family, and how something like Star Wars does bring that together for us as fans.
Exactly. Now, this started as a Kickstarter campaign to fund the film. Tell us about how you got it all together and got your crew together.
So with the Kickstarter, I wanted to film somewhere special, and straight away you have to do a video on Kickstarter, they suggest you do, to help promote your campaign. So I looked into Kickstarter, I worked out a rough budget of how much I thought it was going to cost me. I approached someone that I'd worked with before. It was Haywire Films. They had worked on a short film that I tried to do called That Day. So I approached Terry King and Ro O'Neill to come on board. Of course, I had a friend of mine, Cody Carlson, who from Dark Moose Entertainment, who had been working with me for a while on a script, and he jumped on board. Of course, the first person I spoke to about it, which was a friend of mine, David Richardson. So we had a little crew together, and then, of course, I approached the Hoyts Regent building, where the cinema used to be, because it's no longer there, and we got permission to film. So one late Saturday night, we filmed our campaign video there with the help of the Redback Garrison, the 501st. And from then on, we cut the video, and we got it all up on the Kickstarter website. And yeah, it was 3 months of grueling and begging and hoping and spamming on the internet to get us over the line, and we got there right at the end. Exactly.
I mean, I've got to look at it over the last year and a half. As a director, as your friend, I've said you've had ups and downs with the film. Just getting the editing or whatever it is, the little bits and pieces. But like any true journey as a director, you've pushed on no matter what adversity stepped in your way. You knocked those barriers down, and the whole team has just made this film come to life.
Yeah, look, I had a wonderful team, Yes, we had our ups and downs, and I guess, even at an independent level, at a very low level where we were at with filmmaking, you can see the good and the bad of what can happen, and all those trials and tribulations that you have as a filmmaker. And are we going to get it done? Is it going to get finished? We originally had a deadline of 2016. We were looking at the end of that year, and that never happened. And, of course, our trailer had come out in mid-2015. We hadn't even finished filming, and we had, I should say, at the beginning of 2016, and we had that, coming at 2016. And, we copped a lot of flack from a minority, and it was hard, and a lot of pressure was put on myself and my family. But like I say, at the end, I had a wonderful team, and in the end, like I say, we're only a few days away from the final product.
Exactly. Now, in the film, obviously, you go on a journey with your son to the States, to Star Wars Celebration. You get to meet some of the people behind the scenes who worked on the original film, who worked on the NPR radio drama, which is, of course, one of my all-time favourites. Let me say this, folks, if you haven't listened to the Star Wars and the Empire Strikes Back one in particular, then you are missing a lot of Star Wars. The Return of the Jedi one's still good, but without the cast that it had in the other two, not quite there. But it's still got Perry King.
That's right, it's got Perry King. I got to interview Perry King, which is really awesome. I got to talk to Perry a little bit about the radio dramas and a bit about what he does outside of just being an actor. I wanted to know a little bit more about him and causes and charities that he was involved in, and how that sort of things impacted his family and so forth. And we had a really great discussion. I'd have to say Perry was the one I was most nervous about, because I consider him one of my heroes from listening to those radio dramas. But to meet him and to talk to him about it, and of course I got his autograph on my special edition Star Wars radio drama. I was pretty chuffed about that, because it's not something many people get to see. But it was cool. Perry was amazing to hear those stories.
Obviously, Steve Sansweet and a dear friend of mine as well, Vanessa Marshall, Harrison Dula of Star Wars Rebels.
Yeah, look, Steve Sansweet was our first interview. He was our first stop on the trip. So when we were in San Francisco, we went to Rancho Obi-Wan and we did the tour. And I recommend anyone, you've got to be on your Star Wars bucket list, going to Rancho Obi-Wan. And once again, getting to talk to Steve and hearing his story and a little bit about himself and his love and passion for Star Wars was utterly amazing. And Vanessa, funnily enough, was the last interview we had on the trip. It was very short and very quick. Vanessa was quite busy that day. She'd come down to Celebration to do some signing, and we managed to grab a couple of minutes of her time, and she was, once again, so amazing to talk to her. And once again, you hear that voice, and you're like, oh, that's Harrison Dula, and it always shakes you when you're hearing someone's voice. It was like Perry. It was like, oh my God, that's Han Solo. But we're hearing Vanessa talk, and she is a wonderful person, and once again, she loves the fans, and she does a lot for fandom. So, but yeah, very privileged to meet a lot of people on that trip, that's for sure.
Definitely. And folks, if you're a fan of Vanessa Marshall, particularly of her work on Marvel and DC as well, she's done a lot of characters, and you're living in the Brisbane area, or perhaps even the Gold Coast area, then you may be in luck, because she is currently looking at the availability of the Brisbane Supernova and possibly next year's Gold Coast Supernova in April. So it'll be November and possibly April Supernovas, which is going to be great. Of course, we're going to be there. Fantha Tracks, Fantha From Down Under, Mullet and all, and of course, My Saga.
Yes. Well, like I say, it's going to be exciting to see her on screen and having her a part of it. And I'm, like I say, very fortunate, very happy, and yeah, like I say, I can't wait to share it with her when I get to see it. So hopefully she'll be in Brisbane, and I'll be able to give her a copy personally.
It'd be great. Now, the film itself obviously is a journey for yourself and for your son. What is it you learned about Star Wars itself through that journey?
Well, I love it more than ever, that's for sure. My love for Star Wars grew even more, and I think it was just the fact that I'd heard stories of how close-knit the community, Star Wars community was, and it wasn't until I got to America, which is the home of Star Wars, and just seeing that at Star Wars Celebration, and how there was no negativity, it was a lot of positivity, and they are very close-knit, and there is a very tight-knit group family. Would I say that today? Probably not so much, but yeah, look, it was just nice to be a part of that. It was like coming home to a family I sort of knew that I had, but I'd never met. But that fandom and love and passion and sense of community was so strong, and I just didn't expect it. Like, I heard about it, and I thought, oh yeah, it's just going to be people. But the amount of people there, and how I felt, and after talking to a lot of fans, there's so much in common between everybody. It's not funny.
100%. And, I mean, fun is the one thing that we all get from these movies. Watch a James Bond film. I get fun from it. Ghostbusters, what do you get from it? But, we have to remember these are mythic heroes. They're to teach us about life and stuff like that through mythic storytelling. But even, outside of Star Wars, a lot of the other franchises that still, will get hit with similar things in their fandom, you've got to remember these are things we're meant to have fun with.
Yeah, look, I think that's what a big part of what Solo is. It's come out, and, fans are, oh, Alden's not Harrison, and this felt weird, and, and all that sort of stuff about Solo. The thing for me, Solo is like picking up this is just a casual Star Wars story. It's just a fun adventure story. It's not, giving us in-depth character development. It's not going to tell us the secrets of the universe. It was just a fun Star Wars adventure, and I think it was the film we needed right now, and I think people aren't seeing it that way, and, and that's what Solo is. It's positivity in a nutshell. It's a fun, exciting ride. You don't have to think anything about it. It's going, good popcorn fun. And like I say, in fandom at the moment, after The Last Jedi, which is so emotional, heavy, and very deep in story, to have Solo was such a nice change of pace and getting that positive and adventurous spirit back into the cinema. So, yeah, look, we need it. We need positivity at the moment. And like I say, hopefully My Saga can be a part of that journey.
Oh, without a doubt. Now, one of the things you've brought up too is the support you've got from Star Wars Foundation's great big ambassadors themselves. The 501st out here in Australia. I haven't had a lot to do with them myself. Definitely seen them in their armour, helping out where they can in helping out at events and stuff like that. Particularly, I suppose the Supernovas was a big one that they do a lot of. But they're always at Dreamworld here on the Gold Coast, out there for the kids, and obviously out there for those in need, for a little bit of enjoyment and happiness into their lives. So to the Redback Garrison, a big salute to you guys, and can't wait to see you guys on Wednesday. It's going to be great.
Yeah, look, they are coming to the screening, which is fantastic. We've got 10 troopers rocking up in costume, which is going to be lovely, and hopefully raise a little bit of money for Starlight on the night as well. Mm-hmm. Our ticket proceeds from ticket sales are going to be donated to Starlight once the evening's over. So the more people we can get in the theatre is going to be better, which means the more money we can give to Starlight on the night. So, but both organisations do so much, and they work together quite well, Starlight and the 501st. They do a lot together here in Brisbane and Australia, and I know they do it overseas as well. But they've been great supporters. Like the Redback Garrison was there the night we filmed the Kickstarter campaign, and I knew on that evening I wanted to do something for charity, and that's when I sort of thought, well, I was going to do Starlight. So, that night filming there, I had support from two great companies. So, yeah, it was good.
It's great when you get that sort of, support. And support in general, obviously, from all the local, podcasting community and friends, etc. out here. Yep. Obviously, you're going to have Brad Macker going to be there, our dear friend. Maybe Mullet, maybe not. We'll see how Brad goes with that one. And, of course, Blair. We can't not say, of course, your co-host on the amazing podcast, My Saga. You guys are an amazing duo.
Oh, look, we've been trying something a bit different, and Star Wars podcasting is one thing we wanted to sort of get into. So it's been a lot of fun. We've got some things for the future lined up, and we're hoping we can, once again, ride that positivity that, like yourself, are doing on Fantha Tracks and so forth. So, we want that change of pace as well. We want to do something a little bit different. So, keep eyes and ears out for the future with My Saga podcast. But Blair is a wonderful guy. He's a good Star Wars fan. He keeps it positive and light and funny as always. So it's going to be having him good. It's going to be having him there on the night really great. So and yourself and Brad Macker, of course.
Now, what's interesting, folks, is Blair is a massive. Now, I'm not just saying this lightly. Is a massive Mad Max nut. I mean, he really is. He loves his Max. And I know that Adam Harris loved the first 3 films. And for almost 18 months, Mr. Harris was adamant that, I'll watch Fury Road,
Yeah.
And of course, 18 months to the day, we went to the Blair Hiscock Home Cinema and we sat down and watched a movie by the name of Mad Max Fury Road, didn't we?
We did. And it was fantastic. I loved it.
But the only review this gentleman said was, it's not Mad Max.
No, that's right. That was my review. I said it's not a Mad Max movie. It was a Furiosa movie or a Wasteland film. I still stand by that. I don't really think it's a Mad Max film at all. In comparison to the other films, I think Max played a very, very, very distant character to what he was in the other 3. So, but I stand by that. I stand by my review of Mad Max Fury Road. It's not a Mad Max film. It just happens to be in his universe.
You're probably right there. Well, as you can find on Phantom Podcast Network, in the next week we have the second of 4 series of podcasts called Couch Potato Theatre, and these specials called Maximum Couch Potato, talking about the Mad Max films one by one. And the second one's just about to launch about the Road Warrior,
nice,
as they say in the USA, or as we call it, Mad Max 2 out here. That's right. And of course, it's a war between 2 communities. One basically living off petrol itself. The other has the petrol. And of course, we have the gyro captain going, ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk.
That's right.
I mean, it's great. Shot by Dean Samler. I mean, we should...
Oh, yeah.
We should be talking Star Wars here, but go and check it out, folks. It's going to be great with, of course, Kyle Wagner and Kevin the Raider Reitzel. There you go. Go and check them out. That'll be out on Fanpod Network.
Nice.
Okay, so obviously the film launches next Wednesday. Where can the Brisbane and Gold Coast fans get their tickets and obviously turn up to North Lakes?
All right, well, there's a couple of ways to do it. You can either go onto the My Saga Facebook page. We have a link there in the event section. Or if you go to the Eventbrite website, so www.eventbrite, so eventbrite.com.au, and search for the My Saga premiere, and then click on that, and you'll be able to get your tickets there. So adults are $12, children are $8. This is a E-rated film, so there is no adult content of any type in there. Like I say, this film is just not about Star Wars, it's about fandom in general, community and family. So we want everyone to bring their family, their kids along. It is at North Lake Cinema, which is on the north side of town. We have a 6:30 sit-down time, and the movie kicks off at 6:45.
Can't wait, it's going to be amazing. So folks, you know where to go. If you're an Australian fan and you're in the local vicinity, you want to get there, go and check it out. We're going to be there. Fantha Tracks. We're going to be there, obviously, with the Redback Garrison, My Saga, the film, Adam Harris, Blair Hescock, Brad Magger, you name it, the Fanthas.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait. It's going to be a great night.
Awesome. Now, after the film, are we going to be seeing a DVD release in the next 3 to 4 months as well, for those that can't see the film there?
Well, look, we are working on a few other things. We are working on possible screenings around Australia first. We'd like to, get it into some theatres down there in New South Wales and Victoria and, Adelaide and WA and all that sort of stuff. We are working on distribution at the moment, looking at a variety of platforms, of course, DVD and Blu-ray, possibly streaming services like Netflix and so forth. So we will hopefully have some news in the coming months with regards to other releases. I know of one particular release, but I can't talk about it. I've been sworn to secrecy, but we'll hopefully be able to talk about it very soon. So just keep eyes on the My Saga Facebook page or on our website, and of course on our Twitter as well. So, and I will say that the My Saga website is also going to be having a facelift in the next couple of months, and something very special is going to be happening with the website. So, yes, so keep eyes peeled. There's a lot of My Saga still to go on this year, and of course we'll also be getting out the rewards to our Kickstarter backers and DVDs and Blu-rays and shirts and posters. We are still working with that and digital copies. So there's a lot of things still to go on this year, so it's a big year for My Saga, I know that.
Awesome. Where can the listeners catch your website and your Twitter and your Facebook, etc.?
Cool. So if they go to www.mysaga.com.au, if they check us out on Twitter, which is at mysaga_SW, and our Facebook page, so at facebook.com/mysaga documentary.
Awesome. Folks, go and check it out. There'll be links up, obviously, on our page, and go and check out the podcast too. There's a lot of fun over there. We'll catch you next time, folks, on FanthaTracks.com, the Fantha From Down Under.
Well, thanks, mate. Thanks, Adam, for being on the show. It's great to have you back chatting on the podcast, and we cannot wait to see My Saga, whether it comes out on DVD or Blu-ray, digital, you name it, whatever the format. We hope that you all get a chance to see this slice of Australian Star Wars fandom out in your neck of the woods. Now, on the next episode of the Fantha From Down Under, you'll be listening to the second part of the chat with Vanessa Marshall, Hera Syndulla of Star Wars Rebels. And of course, she stars in this documentary too that we chatted about tonight, My Saga. And we'll also be chatting to Jeremy Beckett again for part 2 of his chat about Solo, a Star Wars story. And while we're on that, we're also going to have Adam Harris on for his review of Solo, a Star Wars story, here on www.fanthatracks.com, the Fantha From Down Under. You can catch us on iTunes, SoundCloud, you name it. Wherever podcasts can be found, you will find us.